All right guys, Brandon here from Adventure Archaeology, and today we're out on the river. The water's still a little bit high. We had a whole lot of rain, but it's a good sign. It makes me think that we're gonna find something good and something new is washed out. So without any further ado, let's get to it and see what we can find. I don't know if y'all can tell how fast this water is, but it is moving extremely fast. I just plucked a nice drinking glass candidate out. This water is really rushing. I don't know if you can tell how fast it's going past my legs. It's making it a bit hard to see, but if I can pick this out, that means I'm gonna find something pretty cool today. And this is definitely a good drinking glass candidate. You can see only the top's gone, so that will be coming out with me. Right here in the creek bank, you can see there's some glass sticking out. It's in there pretty good. You see it just broke right in my hand. It's not worth getting out, but I can see that it's embossed right there. And it looks like it was a clear variant of that same bottle that I just found. Sadly, it's broken. There's definitely a lot of stuff washed out though, and I got a really good feeling that we're gonna find something awesome today. Check out the size of that bone. What do you think that was, a horse or a cow? I don't know. Whatever it was massive, that's for sure. Check that out right there. Looks like a whiskey flask. It looks like the right age. Trying to decide whether I want to stick my hand in there or just... There we go. Oh, it took off. Oh, they lost it. Ah, I should have reached my hand in there. Where'd it go? Current's too strong. That may have been a good one. There it is. You see the current literally just trying to carry it. It's definitely the right age period. Look at that. Wow. I was hoping it would say something on it. Lots of new stuff washed up. That's exactly what I want to see. After you walk the creek so many times, you kind of get used to it after a little while, and you learn the lay of the bottom of the creek. After a big rain like we had here that caused severe flooding, it kind of changes everything. The entire bottom seems different, and you got to be really cautious when you're walking because deep pockets can appear where they weren't before. And on a morning like this morning, it's 32 degrees. The last thing that I want to do is fall in and my waders fill up. So you just got to take it very, very slow, especially during the winter time. Here's a Coke. If I had to bet, it's going to be broke. Oh, maybe not. Ah, just a Pat D, Common Birmingham. Ah, that sucks. This may be a first for me anyways. Looks like a deer antler. Nope, just a big bone. Thought it was a deer antler the way that it was sticking up. That's alright though. There's a bottle right there. I almost walked right by it because of how clear it is. I'm going to put the camera under water where y'all can see it, because I don't think you can see it topside. A Raola. Sadly, it's got a broken top. That's still one of the older variants. But yeah, I almost walked right over top of that. That's alright. Still a good drink glass candidate, so it will come out with me. See a broken one right here. Let's see what it is. Definitely not a drinking glass candidate. Broke too far in the back. We'll still carry it out though. Don't want anybody stepping on it, getting any cut feet during the summertime. Here's one right here. Broken too. Let's see where it was from. Montgomery, Alabama. Another Pat D. Still too new. Looks like I found where that creepy baby doll arm came from here a few weeks ago. Right there. Yeah. That will not be going home with me. That will be going in the garbage. There you go. Right here. Sours extract. That one's been in the creek a long time. You can tell by the amount of rash on it. Still pretty cool though. I like finding these that have been in there that long. It means it's been in the water for probably around 100 years and survived. It's got a story to tell, and it'll have to tell it from my shelf at the house. Looks like today's going to be a drinking glass day, because here's another one right here. Right there on top. They sure are nice and clean. I guess that dirt blasted it during all of that flood water. That's all right though, we'll take it. Looks like there may be another broke one right here. Can't really tell, it's buried pretty good. But breaking. Oh. Just a jar half. Can't tell if this is modern or not. Let's see together. Oh, it's a modern. Sure did look good. Of course, the whole one so far has been the one that I didn't want to be whole. That's how it works though. Looks like here's another broke. This will probably be the last broken one that I show. Anything else I show is going to try to be something either really rare or whole or a hutch. Man, I was really hoping for a hutch today. Water is, like I said, harder to see through though. Just found some kind of tooth. I don't know what that is. It's huge. Somebody tell me what kind of tooth that is, because I don't have a clue. Is it a horse tooth? Cow tooth? It's massive. Now leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. Looks like I got me a new fishing lure. Take that. Still washed up with the last storm. That's okay though. That's a good one too. Them bright colors do good in Alabama. Check that out right here on the bank. It's a taro. Let's see if I can dig it out. Golly. Nice 20 swirl from Birmingham. Oh, the top's gone. That's all right though. We'll take it. There's another one right down there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna put the camera under the water. I can't tell if it's broke or not. That is a modern drinky pole. It's broken. What we got here? A baseball bat of some sort that has been in there forever. The handle's gone and got a stick stuck in it. So I don't think that that's worth getting out of here except for the trash back there. So we'll get it out of here just because of trash. Not sure how much the camera's picking up how green and blue this is right here. It is beautiful. One of the big benefits of being out on the creeks in the wintertime is the water is just so crystal clear. It is awesome. I could sit here and go to sleep with the sound of that water. Here's the fishing pole that went with that lure. Nice looking camouflage one, it looks like. We'll go ahead and carry that out of here. Pole has seen better days though. Boy, there's the heartbreaker right here. It hurts my feelings. At least it wasn't a blank base, but I can't tell. Yeah, it's a hutch. Okay. Yeah, it's the first hutch piece of the day. And sadly, it was broken. I've probably walked about 2 miles now, and the water is just, like I said, it's proving to be moving too fast and a little bit too treacherous for me to be able to see what I need to. So I'm on my way back out now. Maybe I'll find something on the way out. Not sure. We'll just have to see. Not sure if y'all can tell that current that I'm in. Right now I'm at about thigh depth, and it is taking everything I got to work and walk against it. It's really wearing me down. Should have used my head and walked up instead of down, but the way the parking situation is, didn't exactly work out. Alright guys, so the creek was a bust. I didn't find anything but a bunch of brokes, and I can't believe that after all that rain we had. But that's kind of how treasure hunts work sometimes. But the good news is I got an invite from one of my buddies named Casey. He's doing some exploring at an old mining town, and we're on our way to go check that out now. Casey has put us on a spot that he's done some research on, and this was a mining town that has a lot of interesting history behind it. But we're kind of looking for bottles and we're kind of looking for a mine. We're doing a little bit of both. But right here where I'm standing, you can kind of see the cross ties sticking out. This was an original railroad track. You see the spikes sticking out. We're trying to find the entrance, and this place hasn't been used in a long time. It's obviously been logged in the last probably 30 years. You can see somebody has dumped some modern trash here. Tons and tons of 7-Ups and stuff. That's not what we're looking for. That's probably late 60s trash. Nothing that we want. We'll put it that way. Oh yeah, I see. This is what you're talking about, isn't it? Right, yeah. So like a transformer box, I wonder?
That's pretty old too. But they stack the actual ties up like this.
You know, that could have been like a clacker tag keeper too.
Very possible.
Huh. So we're still following the tracks. You can see the remnants right up there. I don't know if you can or not. Let's go up there where you can see it. You can see the block pylons right here, or concrete pylons. But this is what caught my eye, because look at that brick. It's super old brick. That'd make a killer mailbox. Don't think I want to haul that out of here though. There's another one of those big pylons up there on the top too. I don't know if y'all can see that foundation right up there. We're gonna find our way up there. It's not gonna be on this front side because that's about a 25-foot sheer wall of clay. Looks like there's gonna be an easier way up over here though. Looks like it's just another pylon tower. There's a bottle sticking out. It's a screw top. Oh, it's just another 60s Pepsi. All right, so we came back up and out of the mine hole that we were in, and this old house was standing. You can see there's a door right there, and there's a door behind it. That would have been a duplex back in the day for the coal miners. Now, what's interesting is you still see that there's an outhouse standing right here, and hopefully Casey may know the owners of this property. If he does, we may get permission to dig this outhouse. Now, here's the deal. That outhouse was probably used until about the 1930s or 40s, but what would have happened is as each hole would have filled with, I won't tell you what was in it, you know what it was. Each time it was filled, it would have been moved. So every 3 or 4 feet on this backlot fence right here between these two big trees, there's probably 3 or 4 outhouse holes that are full of bottles. And that's exactly what we want to get into. Check that out right here. Oh, it was an old oil can. Quaker State SAE 10W40. Deluxe.
Huh. Damn, that's in still good shape though. That's not
yeah.
Bad. It's gotta be old.
Oh yeah, that's super old. Them oil cans, man, they fetch a ton. It almost makes me want to prowl around a little bit. Should have brought my pitchfork out of the truck. Them oil cans though, man, I'd love to dig them. They're not as old, but they're super collectible. I doubt that you can tell the way the land lays. But right here, there's a creek that flows. And over here, it's kind of swampy, and it's kind of all coming to a point right here. But we're actually in search of the railroad depot right now that used to be standing here. And hopefully, there'll be a railroad depot dump someplace in the vicinity. Just got to figure out how to get around this mud that's down here without going waist deep in it. I didn't put my waders on against better judgment. We'll find out if I can get across here in a minute without just getting covered. I think we might have found it. We think we did. It's funny, in a spot that supposedly a 3-story building once sat, all we're finding is cornerstones and foundations. We would have figured there'd have been bigger piles. You can see right there is another part of the foundation. You'd think there'd be bigger piles of rubble left from the building, but it's all gone. But we were just talking about how close the creek is. They didn't really use their head. They built this thing so close to the creek that it flooded nonstop. And I guess, I mean, it's possible the rubble could have washed downstream at one point. It doesn't look like this ever gets underwater, but it could be up to here at sometimes. Just depends on how much rain we get. The floods around here are kind of crazy. I mean, 6 to 10 inches of rain doesn't sound like a lot, but you get that much and it can raise the creeks and rivers around here feet within minutes, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, I'm betting that's it, man. Railroad tracks right here. Every 2 foot, there's a cross tie. It seems to be the dead giveaway is this green moss. It's like we can just look for the green moss, and that's where we're finding the structure pieces to where railroad tracks were and where the buildings were at one point. Check this out, right on the side of the railroad tracks. Casey found this right here. Somebody was carrying it, set it down, something happened. It's not super old like he said, probably 50s or 60s, but that's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy that it sat that way for 60 or 70 years. Right in the creek right here, I just pulled this out. This is the bottom to a Heinz ketchup from the late teens to early 20s. So there's glass in here that's at least 100 years old. I saw about 3 or 4 plate pieces scattered through here. It's not exactly a super wide creek, but there's really nothing modern around here. So if you find something that's probably going to be really good. We're kind of following the trash trail right down to this ditch right here. I'm seeing some stuff up here on top. It looks older. You can see it's got like the age cracks to it, but I think it's a late throwaway. It's really hard to say. It's crazy. There must have been a newer house around here for this stuff to be here, like that right there. That's 60s, and we're in an area that should be 1890s. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Looks like an old home site with this being a well right here, this depression. And it looks like somebody tried to cover it years ago and the wood has rotted away. I may be wrong, but I mean, that looks like a water line out of there. Maybe they dug it out and that was an underground spring right there. But I don't know why they would have covered it with that wood unless it was deep.
Why'd you go down there with that camera? You're just gonna get some eeriness. Ooh, what is that? Yeah, that's strange.
That's what I'm saying. The way it's covered, I think that was a well. But it looks like it all collapsed.
Yeah.
I've been in East Alabama and seen wells like this right here, clay walled, 100 feet straight down.
Just
yeah.
get down the water table.
Yep, it's crazy. Well, there's up on a mountain, so they had to go even further. It's pretty crazy. Let's go see what you got over here. I don't know if y'all can hear this. We're standing on solid ground. That sounds, what, about 6 feet down, maybe?
I'll say, yeah, that's about right.
Listen really closely. There is a solid water stream running beneath us right here.
And for us to be able to hear it like that, it's falling a long way.
Yeah, I don't know what's down below there. It could be a mine shaft. It could be a well. It looks like it would be running out someplace though.
Down here, it gets crazy, man. But it's way down.
So it must be running towards the railroad tracks.
That's right, yeah. We can walk over there.
That's crazy. So the water we heard under the ground was up there. We're kind of following it down. And this looks like a monster sinkhole right here. I'm not going to get too close to the edge because I don't know what's down there. And then the water comes on out and trickles down to the creek where we were at, which is pretty neat. So it makes me think that that was probably the water source for the area many years ago, which means it's probably a pretty good place to metal detect. Well guys, just got back to the house. It was a rather uneventful day for finds, but if you don't get out and prospect like we did today and do a little bit of scouting, you'll never find new areas. So you always keep that in mind. We're always constantly prospecting. We're constantly looking for new areas. That way when we do run out of good places to dig, we'll have a next one on deck ready to go. So, like I said, rather uneventful, but if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, be sure that you subscribe, because next week we're going to find something awesome.